Ghosts drifting through houses, glowing shapes hovering in streets, headless figures wandering at night. Every clip captures a presence that shouldn't exist. So watch closely, because this is what we call the stuff of nightmares.
Whoa! What the? Did you see that? Hold on.
This homeowner was resting near his pool when he noticed a strange figure. That's when the nightmare began. Near the pool, a woman was sitting absolutely still. Her skin was pale, her face lifeless, and her eyes were locked directly on the camera. She didn't look human at all. He knew she hadn't been there that night, yet there she was, calmly staring back at him. The realization hit hard. He hadn't just hosted his friends, but a ghost too. Nothing bad happened that night, but the thought that it might return with darker intentions was enough to haunt him long after the party ended. Racing spirits. In 2024, a security camera on a quiet farm captured strange lights racing across the sky. They weren't shooting stars. They appeared out of nowhere, flashed at incredible speed, and vanished like they were never there. The farmer had no explanation. It didn't feel natural at all. Days later, the truth began to surface. A neighbor revealed that a satanic ritual had taken place nearby that same night. He claimed those lights were spirits released for dark purposes, set loose into the world. Who knows whom they will chase? But one thing is clear. When they choose their target, that person's life will never be the same again. Roof Watcher. Late at night, a group of men were walking down the street when they froze in shock. Up on the roof of a house, there was a mysterious figure. Pale, still, and watching them. The camera clearly showed what looked like a woman with long hair, dressed in white, only half of her body visible as she faced their direction. No one could say for sure whether it was truly a ghost or just a real woman, but the appearance looked almost exactly like the legendary Kuntilanak, a terrifying female vampire-like ghost that is believed to shock the people. Headless glider. A man was filming his sheep when suddenly they scattered in fear. Curious, he zoomed in on the footage and froze. There, moving alone, was a figure with no upper body, gliding across the field. Some called it a camera glitch, but local folklore hinted at something far darker. It was said to be the restless spirit of a farmer who had vanished in those lands long ago, forever wandering without form. Maybe that was the reason the child nearby didn't freak out. Headless spirit. A group of friends were on a silent street late at night when they spotted a figure like no other. Ahead of them, a humanoid walking calmly, only there was no head. His body moved smoothly, like nothing was missing at all. The friends stood frozen, unable to speak or even breathe. At that moment, one thought filled their minds. They weren't looking at a man. They were seeing a ghostly spirit wandering the road. Swinging ghost. Ghost hunters went into an abandoned village, exploring its empty streets and old houses. At one spot, they saw someone swinging on a tree swing. But when they shone their flashlight on it, a ghostly figure appeared, moving unnaturally back and forth. Terrified, they ran back immediately. This just goes to show. Abandoned places should never be disturbed, especially at night. Backseat horror. A driver was heading to his factory on a rainy night when he noticed something chilling. A figure sitting calmly on the back of the car in front of him. What made it terrifying was, well, isn't it already obvious? Was it a ghost, or perhaps the mythical Blemmy? When the footage was later shown to the driver, he insisted that no one should ask anything about that night. Shop haunting. A security guard shared a terrifying experience from his night shift at a clothing store. The CCTV shows the guard sitting on a chair, trying to stay awake, when a packet of clothes suddenly fell off the rack on its own. A second later, the real horror began. The guard was violently pulled off his chair and dragged across the floor, as if invisible hands were gripping him. When the footage went viral, no doubt was left. The store was clearly haunted, and now everyone believes a ghost has claimed that shop as its own. Pocong encounter. This needs to be the 1 in a million scary edition. A driver was alone on a muddy road when his dashcam caught something that shouldn't exist. A figure in a white shroud stood at the roadside, completely still, face hidden, or maybe missing. With his heart racing, he glanced around, but the road was empty. Then, without warning, the same figure appeared inside the car, right next to him. The video ended abruptly. Locals whispered it was a Pocong from a nearby graveyard, hopping into the living world. This road is avoided at night, because when the night is silent, some things don't stay buried. Haunted lights. Neighbors were stunned when they suddenly noticed the lights on inside an old house that had been abandoned for years. At first, they thought the owner had finally returned, but then something far worse appeared. A dark shadow slowly peeked from the window. Everyone already believed the house was haunted, but this time felt different. The lights, the movement, the silent, staring presence.
Yeah. Top window.
It was as if the ghost inside had finally decided to play with the neighbors, reminding them the house was never truly empty. La Llorona. A man was out on a stroll one night when, out of nowhere, a white figure slowly emerged. His dogs looked like they were in a trance even more, barking furiously. The figure approached, then abruptly moved away, as if scared by the dogs. Some suspected the guy had encountered the ghost of La Llorona, while others thought it might have been some witch trying to haunt the lone souls that came there. Whatever was the case, I hope the guy never have to encounter the figure again. Abandoned terror. A curious teenager went inside an abandoned building on a dare given by friends, and what he saw was truly terrifying. The empty halls were silent at first, then the windows began slamming on their own.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Glass cracked and shattered, as if something inside didn't want him there at all.
La ilaha illallah. Bismillah.
Soon the noise grew louder, and the slamming almost stopped. Afraid for his life, he finally ran outside and saved himself. Unseen force. A man's bike went missing from the street. Thinking a thief had stolen it, he checked the CCTV footage, and what he saw was shocking. The bike suddenly started on its own, turned, and slowly moved away. As if an invisible entity was driving it. No person was in sight, and no explanation made sense. The video quickly went viral, leaving viewers wondering if some unseen force had taken control, or if the city streets had quietly become a playground for the paranormal. Glowing doorway. This CCTV footage from 2025 captured something nobody could explain. A strange glowing object hovered on the street. It moved slowly back and forth, pulsing with light and shifting shape, like it was alive. Then, without warning, it simply vanished. The video goes wild online. People were convinced it looked like a doorway, a passage opening for a moment and closing again. A few even shared that they had seen the same glowing thing on empty roads at night, far from houses. For now, no one stepped out but to whom this doorway belonged. Aliens or another dimension. The final take is all yours. Baby Watcher. Parents were reviewing the surveillance video from their newborn's room when pure fear hit them. Outside the window, a witch-like woman stood perfectly still, staring straight at the baby. Her face looked cold, as if she carried a dark plan. Thankfully, nothing happened, but the fear never left the parents. Guided flame. House camera recorded a strange light that looked like a burning ball drifting toward the house. It floated slowly, almost alive. First, it appeared from the forest, then glided closer to the lens, and finally turned back, slipping into the trees again, as if it knew its path. The locals believe these orbs are sinister, and they carry dark vibes, so it's better to keep your distance from them. Fireball curse. A man was driving past a quiet stretch of road when something unreal burst out from the forest. A glowing fireball shot forward with violent speed, moving in the air as if gravity meant nothing. Fire doesn't move like that, right? Then how is it possible? That's when old stories hit the man that witches can travel inside fireballs, using pure energy to strike a chosen target. The driver left before anything else appeared, and investigators still haven't found a single chemical source that explains this episode yet. Floating figure. CCTV cameras usually catch thieves and trespassers, but this time they showed something far scarier. As a man walks toward his car, a strange figure suddenly appears beside him. It doesn't react. It just drifts forward, takes a few steps, and slowly fades away like smoke. The clip hit social media instantly, and theories exploded. Some viewers were convinced it was a ghost calmly passing through. Others argued it was a case of teleportation, a person slipping through from another universe, appearing for only a moment before vanishing back through an unseen portal. So which side are you on? Let me know in the comments below. Haunting shadow. A woman asked her neighbor to watch over the house. A few days later, the neighbor noticed strange movement inside, even though the doors were locked. At first, she thought it might be a reflection, but as she moved closer, she saw a dark shape drifting through the hallway, like it already lived there. Someone nearby began recording, still thinking it might be a joke, until the figure moved again, clearer this time.
There's nobody in that house. There's nobody at all.
It was clear that the ghost had taken over her house. After she returned back, her house was haunted, and she had to move from it. Trapped spirit. A man noticed something that immediately felt wrong. The lights in his neighbor's house were on, but the issue? The family was away on vacation. Thinking someone had broken in, he took out his phone and started recording. What he captured was not a thief. Through the window, a ghost-like figure rushed across the room with unreal speed. It moved from left to right, then right to left, as if it was trapped inside and pacing restlessly. It disappeared for a moment, then appeared again, repeating the same eerie motion over and over. The house wasn't just empty, it was occupied by something else. Maybe this is why people say not to leave homes abandoned for too long. These entities find a place to live, and once they settle in, they never leave. Wandering ghost. This time, the CCTV didn't just show the street, it revealed a terrifying surprise. A lady in white appeared on the screen, her hair falling over her face as she walked slowly. One glance was enough to know what she was: a ghost. Locals say she is the spirit of a woman who wanders near the graveyard, crying for her next victim. They believe that anyone who answers her call at night never returns home. Instead, they are forced to stay with her in the graveyard forever. Pale Watcher. A woman woke up mid-sleep, and this is what she saw. She just moved into this house and have been witnessing strange things already, but it was something really terrifying. A pale face was staring straight at her, eyes locked, unmoving. Was it a ghost, or was someone really peeking inside to see the woman? Let me know if you have any idea. Ceiling stare. Back in 2023, a young girl was quietly working in her room when things took a dark turn. She suddenly felt a strange presence above her.
I was staring at my ceiling right at work, and then I see this light right.
Like eyes were glued to her every move. When she finally gathered the courage to look up, there it was, a creepy face staring down at her. It was so creepy that it freaked out anyone who watched it closely. The family didn't take any chances after that. The room was locked, and no one has used it since. Whatever had appeared that day was better left alone.
What is that?
Mirror doorway. A man checked into a hotel, but through the night, he kept hearing faint noises coming from behind the mirror, like whispers and tapping, as if someone was on the other side. Curious and unsettled, he slid a picture behind the glass to test it. And in a split second, the paper was yanked inside and disappeared completely. That was enough. He grabbed his things, left the hotel in fear, and later uploaded the footage online. Some viewers were convinced the room was haunted, and honestly, it was order horror. A food delivery courier in an unfamiliar city faced a shocking encounter that was caught on camera. As he handed over an order, he realized that whatever was in front of him had no head. The footage, which quickly went viral on Facebook, shows the courier frozen in disbelief before fleeing in terror. Headless apparitions have been reported around the world, but rarely with such clear evidence, making this one of the most unsettling encounters ever recorded. Cryptid sighting. While taking a shortcut, a driver encountered a creature that shook everything he thought he knew. There it was, a skinny, pale figure with features that screamed cryptid, a rake-like entity known to lure people into the darkness.
Whoa! What the? Did you see that? Hold on.
It crossed the road, disappearing into the jungle. The driver informed the authorities, and they quickly sealed off the area, saying that they had been hearing about this creature a lot, and it was the first time they get to have a glimpse of it.
It ran across.
That just blinked. What is that thing?
It's gone. It's in the tree.
Hellhound Circle. You'd better stay away from candles on the road, and here is why. A driver came across a large, dark dog standing in the middle of a perfect circle of glowing candles on a dirt road. It seemed to be sniffing on something inside the circle, completely unbothered by the darkness. But the moment the car's headlights hit the scene, the dog turned its head and began growling at the car. The footage cuts abruptly, leaving the people unaware of the driver's fate. Hybrid encounter. The biker's headlight revealed a chilling sight on the roadside. The upper body looked human, a woman with long black hair and a tattered shawl, but the lower half was entirely inhuman, with muscular legs ending in cloven hooves, standing upright like a shapeshifter frozen mid-transformation. Paranormal experts call such beings cryptid hybrids, or modern satyrs. Said to be ancient forest spirits adapted to the modern world, they often appear near roads aligned with mysterious ley lines. Nawal horror. A CCTV camera captured a sight that unsettled an entire town overnight. The footage shows a dark, humanoid figure moving through the street on all fours. It didn't move like a normal person, and it didn't resemble any known animal either. Its posture and motion felt wrong, almost deliberate. Many locals began comparing it to the Nawal, a being from old legends said to walk like an animal while hiding a human form. Since the video surfaced, fear has spread quickly. Residents believe that this sighting was just the beginning. The figure will now haunt each and everyone living in the area. Shadowless intruder. Late at night, a security camera captured a truly strange moment. At first, a man stood outside the gate, completely still and silent. Then, in the blink of an eye, he moved forward and passed straight through the metal bars. No pause, no struggle, just inside. What made it even more unsettling was that he had no shadow. Neighbors argued the gate wasn't locked, and he slipped through. But neighbors dismissed that. The gate was locked. So how did he get in? Well, there's only one chilling explanation that fits. It was a ghost, slipping through walls as if the rules of our world didn't apply, and it might still be watching. Ghost carriage. The video shows two different cases where security cameras recorded something unbelievable. The first footage shows a shadow horse crossing the street, and in the other, there is a cart attached to the horse. Both recordings showed the same eerie thing. The horses passed through fences and then faded out as if it had never existed. So what are we looking at here? A slip in time where the past briefly crossed into our world, or restless spirits still traveling the route they took in life? Satanic hole. This driver's encounter was pure terror. He took a long abandoned road despite locals' warnings and came across a deep hole in the ground. At first, he thought it might be a cat, but when he zoomed in with his camera, what he saw froze him in fear. A creature sat there, its appearance matching depictions of Satan himself. Greater than not wanting to explore it further, the man decided to reverse his car and go as far as possible. Waiting phantom. A girl was strolling through a quiet park, enjoying the calm and the soft daylight, when something felt off. On a nearby bench sat a woman with long hair, still and patient, as if waiting for someone to arrive. At first, it seemed ordinary, but as the girl looked closer, the figure appeared blurred, almost transparent. This girl has been sighted by many, and people even instruct others to not to go near them. So whatever secrets the ghost hid, it stayed with it forever. Stretching creature. At a small lake on Vancouver Island, Canada, a strange event happened on August 18th, 2024. A dark figure was seen standing near the water, completely still. It had long black hair and thin, stretched-out arms. At first, people thought it might be a statue, but then it slowly shifted and lowered its head. That's when they knew it was real. The man who filmed it said locals have spoken about this creature for years, with many similar sightings before. Soon after, officials stepped in and the case went quiet. No clear answers were given, leaving many to believe the truth was hidden on purpose. Nightcrawler legs. Dogs were barking uncontrollably outside a house. So the owner checked the security footage, expecting a thief. What he saw was far stranger. Just two blurry legs moving across the road. No body, no person. Only the walking legs. It matched descriptions of the legendary Fresno nightcrawler. That night, the camera captured what many consider one of the clearest pieces of evidence of this mysterious creature, proving that sometimes the legends wandering in the dark might be closer than we think. School spirits. At 3 a.m. in Nayarit, Mexico, 2 police officers were on night patrol when they approached an elementary school. Near the school gate, they noticed 2 figures moving. At first, it looked like children, but as the officers got closer, the figures screamed and vanished. In the dim light, the police could only make out 2 blurry black outlines. The school had been closed for hours, and no one was supposed to be there. They searched the area, but found nothing. The next day, the school confirmed that no students or teachers had remained after hours. Days later, the officers returned, hoping for answers. Still, nothing unusual appeared. No missing children were reported nearby. What did they really see that night? Children or something else entirely? Wallhead. In a churchyard in Esholt, UK, a man spotted a pale, ghostly head peeking at him from behind a wall. Curious, he stepped closer, but the head had vanished. No trace, no clue left behind. It was as if the ghost had simply disappeared into the air. Even in a place meant for prayer, the presence of something unseen reminded him that ghosts sometimes wander where they please. Miniature humanoid. Late at night, a security camera on the side of a house captured something unusual. At first glance, it looked like an old man walking past the wall, but on closer inspection, that idea didn't fit. The figure was far too small, almost tiny. Was it a small animal? Or a miniature humanoid? Whatever it was, the footage left viewers unsettled, caught somewhere between natural explanation and the unexplainable. Strange camera encounter. Sometimes cameras catch things our eyes never notice, and this clip is one of those moments. On February 18th, 2023, a security camera recorded a strange, semi-transparent figure moving through the frame. At first, it looked human, but something about it felt wrong. Its shape kept shifting, almost like it was trying not to be seen. Some believe spirits can change their form, blending in as people or animals to stay hidden. If that's true, this could be one of those moments caught by accident. Whatever it was, the footage left viewers uneasy, wondering what really walked past that camera. Haunted hostel. A student uploaded the video of his hostel, and it instantly went viral. A dark figure began chasing her through the halls. Wherever she tried to run, the figure appeared in front of her. No one could explain what she faced that night, but her fear was real. It became her first and also her last night in that hostel. After the incident, the hostel quietly stopped taking new admissions, as if the walls still held a shadow no one wanted to disturb. Restaurant sighting. At a small restaurant, a worker was preparing a drink when something strange happened. Suddenly, the bottle was pulled from her hand and flew across the room. No one was nearby, and there was no explanation for the movement. When the footage went online, people began saying a ghost was behind it. Since then, the restaurant has gained a haunted reputation. Both staff and visitors feel uneasy, aware that something unseen might be present the next time they enter. Moving truck. The truck suddenly began moving on its own, and that's when fear set in. The road was uphill, so gravity couldn't explain it. If anything, the truck should have rolled backward, not forward. Yet it crept ahead as if something unseen was pushing it. No engine sound, no driver inside, just movement against all logic. Many believe it wasn't mechanical at all, but a ghost playing a cruel trick, reminding everyone that some forces don't follow the rules of our world. Shadowy spirit. Another surveillance camera from a driveway recorded a chilling scene. A woman in white stood in the middle of a busy parking garage, faint and pale, with the painted lines on the ground showing right through her body. Then a white van rolled into view, turned, and passed straight through the figure as if she wasn't even there. The moment the van cleared the frame, the woman faded away completely. Many who watched the footage believed it was not a glitch at all, but a lingering spirit still tied to that place. Mannequin horror. In 2015, a surveillance camera outside a clothing store captured a chilling moment. A mannequin stood quietly, as mannequins do, until a vehicle appeared at the intersection. Suddenly, the mannequin's head turned toward the road. You might think it was just a loose joint, but the next second, its head snapped back to its original position. Some speculate a remote control might be involved, but others are convinced the mannequin was possessed by something unclean. That brief movement left anyone watching deeply unsettled. Fading boy. In 2023, CCTV cameras captured a disappearing ghost right in action. The ghost was caught walking towards the other side, and soon his body began to fade. And in no time, it disappeared as if it never existed. Now I know that we have all heard of ghost stories, but watching right on camera is something no one wished to encounter. Shadow children. In 2025, a CCTV camera in a quiet town recorded something that left everyone confused. A kid was seen calmly crossing the road. A few seconds later, another shadow appeared behind it, moving in the same direction, almost walking the same gait. There was only just one strange thing. They were no real children in the frame, no bodies, no faces, just dark figures gliding across the street. People online began arguing. Were these ghost children wandering the road, or something really unexplainable? The final take is all yours. Kuntilanak Revia. A man arrived home late at night and had just parked his motorcycle. He felt a chilling presence around him, but couldn't see anything, so he decided to turn on his phone camera and quickly move inside. Later, when he reviewed the footage, he was shocked. Beside his house, a large apparition appeared, shaped like a Kuntilanak ghost. It floated slowly along the side of the house before vanishing. The terrifying part, he never saw it in real time, only the recording revealed it, proving that whatever he saw, it was otherworldly being. Let's move towards our subscribers' pick of the day. At night, CCTV captured a guard dog coming across a strange floating figure near the front door. It was just the head of a woman, no body. Panic erupted instantly. It was a Kuyang, a nightmarish creature from local folklore, gliding silently with its trailing entrails in the darkness for humans as prey. The dog didn't back down, barking and leaping to chase it away. The glowing eyes and eerie movements of the Kuyang sent waves of terror through the town. People whispered in fear. Has it returned? And now, what will be the fate of the town? You better be careful. Maybe it will enter your house.